Seemed like the defensive line really made an impact today. It was kind of getting after the quarterback. Just what was your kind of evaluation of their performance today?
You know, it was awesome. The juice and the energy from that group has been great. They got to set the tone on a daily basis. It starts with them. And it's fun when you get to a third down day and they get to really let it loose, get all the games in and stuff. And, you know, it was good not to just see one or two guys having success, but a lot of the guys on the D-line. But guys that stand out, Buddha, Ram, man, they were in the backfield a ton. Loved seeing what they were doing on third down. It was great.
How much do you kind of like some of the added chippiness and some of the added fire we've seen the last couple of days with, you know, some of the dust-ups and just some of the chirping back and forth?
Yeah, I mean, I love it, but you got to stay healthy and you got to be as one, right? So like when you got to have an edge on defense, you do, right? So throwing punches, no, we're not throwing punches, right? And KB shouldn't, you know, run through Angel like that in a situation that was like a kill shot. No, like let that be run by, hoot and holler, we'll celebrate. But at the end of the day, you got to have a mentality, and we will have a mentality on defense. Our mentality is that we're going to win on defense. Doesn't mean our offense won't have success. They're going to, but we will win on defense, and we have to have that mindset, which comes with an edge. And so I'm proud of the guys for the energy. We need to know a fine line when to cross it or when not to. So
4 days in, give me top 2 or 3 defensive standouts so far.
I like it. You know, I would say Max Balloon has been awesome. He showed up. Obviously, we know him really well, but he has just continued to take strides and being more verbal. This is the first year he's really stepped in like a true leadership role, which is awesome to see. I'm going to stick on the D-line for one more second and slash it with Ram and Buddha. Those guys in the run game and the pass game have been making huge strides. I'm going to move to the back end. Anthony Polano has been doing some really good things just from a leadership standpoint and taking strides. You know, he's only played he's a redshirt freshman, right? He's very intelligent and very smart, and he just keeps taking strides, and it doesn't mean he's not messing up, you know, but he's able to push himself, you know. And then in the back end, you know, Kenny Worthy, right? And there's a lot of guys that are going through my brain right now, but if you say 4, Kenny Worthy's one that is bringing the juice. He's consistent in coverage. We're putting him at Sam, all over the field, right? And excited for him to continue to bring the juice, and he's got to do it every day.
In terms of like finding that balance between having an edge but not letting it get too out of hand, is that something you can kind of instill in the guys, or like how do you kind of find that balance?
For sure. That is so something we've never done before, at least where we were at prior, was have unit meetings every single day as a defense, right? It was kind of like it's so busy, you're trying to like find time for that. But every single night we have unit meetings, and we will come together and we will reflect on what happened at practice, what the standard is, the edge that needs to be there, and when you cross a line. So just like Coach Rogers over there, you know, was able to call some guys out, I will do the same thing on defense. It is my job and this staff's job and the players' job to hold each other accountable. But we will talk through those things and make sure that lines don't get crossed because it's a penalty in a game, right? And that's just the answer, I guess. So.
With Buddha, you mentioned him. I mean, he had at least a couple sacks I had him down for. Tell me about like his recruitment in terms of getting him out of the portal, and like what was kind of your pitch to him getting here?
Yeah, I mean, one of the bigger things, obviously, whoever was in the portal, we started diving deep in to see, you know, the talent level. And then it's about getting to know the person as well. You know, we're big on here is the person as well. It's not everyone's a fit just because they're talented. So bringing him up here on a visit, he was someone who was locked in. You could tell there was a focus. You could tell there was something for his last year that he wanted. It fit what we were looking for. And then he is different than what we've had, at least in this defensive scheme, from where we came from in terms of an ability. A guy to play and drop out and pressure, base downs, every down guy, and him and a couple other guys. That ability was like, we need to get this guy. And we were genuine and honest with him. He liked that. He saw an opportunity where I think he'll have a big role, and here we are, and he's showing out and he's doing his thing.
Take us back to the moment. Did he like call you to tell you he was going to like commit, or like what was that moment like when you first found out he was coming?
You know, that was something that happened with Coach Bibbs and Coach Rogers. So I can't tell you the exact moment, but I know it was a fairly quick decision. It wasn't something where he left, took some time, went a bunch of other visits. He came here, and pretty quickly, you know, he made a decision and was like, man, I think this feels like the family I want to join, the type of culture I want to join on offense as a team going into my last year.
The structure of these practices, obviously we've seen some of these young guys get some chances. What have you made of Tristan and Demarius, just to name a couple, and what have they really added to the unit early on?
Yeah, it's been great to see those guys flying around. At the end of the day, it's been great to double rep, to get all these guys reps, and we watch a lot of film and we're able to coach through all the reps, and then coming together. The biggest thing is, hey, some guys need more reps than others. Older guys, we've got to also find line of keeping healthy. We saw Reeder flying around yesterday. It's great to see, but he's got to stay healthy. So we got to get other guys some reps. And so at the end of the day, I love the competitive spirit. It's not always perfect, but they're flying around out there. They're competing. They got some stuff to them. I love the fact that more than it's ever been, the freshmen are out here with confidence and flying around and making plays, and then the guys are embracing it too. Right? It's not like, oh, you're a young buck. This is one unit, and whoever's in the field, our role is to be the best.
5 years ago, would you have imagined yourself back here in these shoes?
No, I would not have, to be honest. It was. I remember how excited I was to come here in 2020 as a graduate assistant and get this opportunity. You can imagine how much more excited I was here a few months ago to come back here in a place I was familiar with. And I know the support this place has, where it's going to continue to get to in that sense. And then coming here with this staff, man, I believe in this staff. I believe in Coach Rogers. And I know we're going to do something special, and that's not easy, but we got to have that belief and got high standards. And I'm excited to be here at Washington State and looking forward to the season.
What was kind of your reaction when Rogers, and I assume it was Rogers, who informed you that you guys would be coming over here?
Yeah, it was. Things happened fast. He called me, told me it was kind of a go. I said, "Hey, man, congrats!" Like, he was already saying what we were doing, and I was like, "Yo, congrats! This is pretty cool." And then 2 days later, we left, and I never went back. So. I was sorry to my wife for a couple months, but she got up here pretty quick. But it's been awesome. When he let me know, I was fired up. I was just sitting waiting for a couple days when he was out here interviewing, just hoping and praying that things would work out the way they're supposed to.
By the end of this fall camp, what do you want your defense to have accomplished? I know the goals are kind of day to day, but in your eyes, what point does the defense need to get to in 2 weeks?
Yeah, there's a standard we have, and that isn't like it's not measurable in terms of like statistics and numbers. It's our collective best. How do we look? How do we sound? How do we feel on a daily basis? And we have characteristics that describe that. So every single day we will come back and we will talk about those things. How do we look today? How do we sound today? How do we feel? And I'll give them the floor. Talk to each other. How can we be better? So it's a daily standard. And by the end of this, it's a bunch of days stacked on top of each other of reaching that standard or striving for that standard like Coach Rogers talked about. And we'll see how good we can be. And I do believe we can be the best. I do. There's no other thought process. So I'm excited for that, and we're excited to keep working towards that goal.